Edibles, Alexandra and Colin Proctor. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Really well.
Good. We're making something different today, a gluten-free quesadilla. Tell me about it.
Well, we have one of our kids who's really, really sensitive to grain, particularly wheat. So we spend a lot of time trying to avoid wheat. And he was craving quesadillas the other day, and I had rice paper in the package in the cupboard.
Yes.
And I thought, we're making quesadillas with rice paper. And they're gorgeous.
Tell me this, where does one go to get rice paper? Is it sort of in the Asian aisle of any grocery store?
Pretty much, yeah.
Let's get a close-up of these. I'm sure you already planned on doing that at some point, or...
Sure.
They're kind of interesting. They look like a rice paper disc of some sort. I can't say I cook with this sort of thing very often.
Well, they're pretty handy because A, if they are in your cupboard, you don't really have to worry about them going bad. So even if you even if you are an occasional user, it's kind of a handy thing to have around, and there's actually a lot of cool stuff that you can do with them.
Right.
You can do salad rolls, you can do spring rolls, and you can do gluten-free quesadillas. So Alex, you're dipping them in the water.
I am, and I need your little chopped up veggies to go in my cheese mix.
Right. So
you've already rubbed that on the
I
grill.
find with this, does the water temperature make a difference in terms of how quickly they soften up? I find maybe a bit hotter, they soften it up a bit more quickly.
Yeah, and the trick with this one is you don't want to get the rice paper as soft as you would to do a salad wrap or such, because it's really hard to work with. So you just want to kind of moisten it enough that it's still quite firm. So about 30 seconds of a dip. And then you stick it on your hot pan.
Interesting, interesting.
And then, Colin, I think you brought in some plates. Did you bring in some plates?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't bring in plates.
Is there a board or something under there?
Yes. I'm sure there is. Oh, you know what? We'll make do with this plate and then we'll plate it up later.
So basically, we're just going to give it a really quick little fry until it gets a tiny bit firm and flip it off of there.
Want me to help?
And while we're going, Colin's going to really, just give it another minute, Susan.
Okay.
They're kind of papery, so you do need to be a little bit careful with them because otherwise you'll just tear them. And you're going to chop that really fine and get it in my cheese.
Okay.
And I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of the jalapeno spice blend in with my cheese. I've got about 2 cups of grated cheese in there. I'm going to give it a squeeze of a fresh lime, just to give it something really fresh and yummy. How's that looking? You want to flip it over like a pancake, Susan?
See that it's solidifying a little bit.
And then toss in these chopped veggies.
Okay, we may have a bit of a wrinkling situation.
Well, that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So we're just going to grab this guy and put him over here for a minute.
Interesting process, very fast.
We're gonna pop this one. Ooh, who's been soaking a long time. So he's gonna be a little bit more of a challenge. I'm gonna soak this guy.
So this is just a rice product, essentially.
That's it?
It is.
Oops.
Oh, well, do you know when you eat spring rolls in a Thai restaurant or a Chinese or Vietnamese restaurant, very often they're made with these deep fried.
Right.
So it's kind of like, it's just sort of a rice wrappy thing. So now we're going to do the really good one because that one hasn't soaked too long, so it's about right. And this guy we're going to put over here.
So with this recipe, I find it's once you get it going, it's really assembly line.
Right.
And you can pretty much have your rice paper going out and just slapping your ingredients in. We're double cooking them on each side today. You actually don't have to do that as well. We just find they're a bit more tasty when you do
crisp them up a bit.
Crisp them up on both sides.
Fantastic.
But entirely up to you. You can also just cook them on one side and put the filling inside and then cover it with the other one and then flip it.
Fantastic. We're going to keep cooking away here on the grill, but we're going to take a 2-minute break and we're going to see how this all turns out in just a minute. Stay with us. Or at least that's the biggest. Welcome back. we are doing a little slicing and dicing. I just decided to add more red pepper.
Awesome, good choice.
Okay, Colin?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, good. So we're actually having an interesting conversation. I was just saying to Alex in the break that I don't recall in the 70s or 80s wheat issues in children the way you see it now. Not unlike nut issues. For example, my son is anaphylactic to many tree nuts. He has a hazelnut and we're in the hospital, right? Yeah. I don't recall the nut issues being very prevalent in the 70s and the 80s. So what were you saying about the wheat issue?
There is some thought that actually the genetically modified wheat, which is becoming more and more prevalent in our everyday foods, is actually what's triggering what they call a leaky gut system. So that's one thought. And that was something that wasn't around in the 70s.
Colin, I'm just trying to make your life
certainly,
easier.
I've heard as well, too, that because there's a prevalence of use of wheat so much in the diet in our culture as well, too, that for instance, I believe in Asia there's a higher percentage of people who are allergic to rice, for instance.
Yeah,
and so
a sensitivity kind of based on an excess of a certain food. So like, you know, with us and wheat, we could have wheat in our cereal for breakfast, we could have it in our sandwich for lunch, we could have it in a muffin or cookie as a snack, and then we could have it pasta for dinner. So it may be very much the fact that we're just having too much of the same food.
Right.
So what you guys are seeing here is I put the topping in these quesadillas, and we're just crisping up the bottom one, and we put the crispy top one on top. So we'll give that another minute to melt through.
Good. We have a full 3 minutes left in this segment, just so we can pace ourselves through here. And again, where did these particular ones come from, these rice?
You can pick these up at Save On Foods or Cooper's Foods. You can get them, at Superstore, all over. Pretty much any grocery store will carry them.
And there are a number of Asian specialty stores around town as well, which of course have them as well.
Fantastic.
So what we've done here is get the veggies and the spice blend right in the quesadilla. So it's going to give us a really nice sort of flavor. And then I'm noticing my grill is a little bit hotter on one side than the other, so I'm just going to slide those over a little bit.
Switcheroo, maybe?
And so these are super flavorful. The quesadilla gets really nice and chewy, and it sort of combines with the cheese, and they're just delicious right off the grill. You dip them in sour cream or salsa or that sort of thing, or just eat them as they are. You can put pretty much anything into them. And I find they're a great treat. I'm not a gluten-free person, but you know, I'm finding I like them as much as wheat quesadillas any day.
Give me a couple of other examples of how these come in handy.
If you could actually pass me the yogurt and the grape tomatoes there, guys. I'm just going to get some plated up over here for everyone to try.
So what else would you use these for?
Well, you can use them pretty much for any snack. Are you talking about the rice paper?
Yeah.
I use the rice paper for salad rolls anytime, which is great, I find. If you want to be on the go and you want to take salad with you or that sort of thing, and you don't want to have a knife and spoon, it's really simple. You wet the paper, you put your salad in and your ingredients, and then you roll it up. And it works like that. So as a wrap, they're fabulous.
And if you could make some space on your cutting board,
we
could put this guy over.
Yeah,
He's got the cutting board today, guys.
The talking and working
And then you
thing.
could chop it up into little pieces. And we can put one out here. So basically, we're just letting them get kind of browned on either side there.
And we've used the Primavera today, is that right?
I use the jalapeno roots.
Okay, so a bit of spice, but nothing serious.
Yeah, you could basically make them spicier or less, depending on what you like. You could do these guys with the pesto garlic or with country onion if you wanted to do a milder version. And then the jalapeno, of course, is the traditional spicy. Look at those over here.
And if you would like to try our quesadillas, we will be at Cooper's downtown today between 3 and 5 sampling them.
Fantastic. We have about 30 seconds left. And
see if I can cut them in time.
Without cutting your fingers, Colin Proctor.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
No, not at all.
No, this is daytime TV. It's not a horror film.
That's
all
right.
There we go. All right.
Perfect.
That's right. Okay, can I pass some more over to you? Or are we going to sample these?
Oh, we could do both.
Well, they look super hot. I might just wait until the
I'm gonna
break.
pass on that.
Or
All
it
right.
could be a horror show as I scream because my lips are
that'd
on
be
fire.
good. Yeah,
It's all
there's a
good.
continuing theme going on here.
I'm hungry now. Look at how good that looks, you guys. Fantastic. Madewithlove.ca, gluten-free quesadillas. Fantastic. This is one I'm definitely going to be trying. Thanks to both of you for being here today.